Guys, gals, and fellow gender non-conforming pals, welcome back. My name is Legally C28, and we had an outstanding lab today. Let me tell you about that. Also, this is super loud in my ear. Let me turn down my, there we go, monitor volume. Bloody hell. Whew, if you heard that, you'd be gone already. Some of you are gone already, but that's besides the point. Today, we had an outstanding lab in Principles of Electronics. We were focusing on magnetism electricity equivalence. So, lots of cool stuff. I have a really cool video to show you at the end, and a thing that I want to really just work on, maybe as like a project that I sell stuff, but more on that in a bit. So, we started off with just a basic introduction to the tools that we have. So, in front of us, we had an oscilloscope, which lets you sort of look at the waveform. It is a waveform, but it's like a man-made synthesized one. Waveform of voltage over time. You also have a multimeter, which can give you exact numbers for different components. So it'll tell you something like, say, what the current resistance is between two objects or two things in a circuit. If two circuits are even connected, what the current voltage is, and it can, I believe, tell you amperage to some degree, but not as accurately as something that's designed for that can. Yeah, so we were basically playing with a big box of electronics. Think secondary school science class, but now we're like speaking on exactly how these things operate. Not because magnets. No. More on because, well, if you have current going this way with your right hand, you're going to have magnets or magnetic field that goes this way. And that's going to cause some pull that way. And from the other way, a pull that way or a push. Or I need a visual. Oh, there are going to be so many visuals in this video log. So be it. On screen now is a visual of what I'm talking about with as you have current flow. So it's the right hand rule. If you have your thumb go in the direction of the current, you have the rest of your fingers are going to be following where that current is creating its magnetic field. And so a very basic example that we showed was messing with the compass, being like, oh, look, you can see when you have a wire and you have current going through it, you can see that it pushes the compass one way. Now, interesting enough, if you have the current go the other direction, it'll push it the other direction. There is a spike, and that spike causes the thing to move. It can move anyway slightly due to having current going through it, which does still create the magnetic field. Basically just showing that. Later on, we went into testing a transformer, which is basically think of it as an electricity gearbox. So look at that. I can teach stuff now. This is what I love about classes like this, that where I understand it and the material's not just like, well, yeah, you see, Henry Ford back in 1935 decided that I don't care. Stop telling me this. I want to know what this thing does and why it does it, not who made it and when they decided to, and if an apple fell on their head. We don't have a whole lot of history in this class. We just, their names, that's good enough. Lenz's Law, Volta, Tesla, yeah, Ampere. That's the history you get. It's in the name. I don't know, just myth from other classes that just talk so much on history and it's not actually beneficial to your success in the class. It's cool to know, I suppose, but just don't grade me on that. Tangential, sorry. Yeah, so transformer, basically your gearbox. We were testing that with our multimeter. So what a transformer does, essentially, is it takes advantage of that magnetic field. So when you have current going through, it creates a magnetic field. Now, if you spin and you make a turn in that cable, you still have a magnetic field going in that direction. But check this out. What do you know happens when you put two magnets together? They become stronger. You have a larger magnet. So, same way. If you have all these little wraps, all these little turns accumulating, it has the current going the same direction. It's creating the same magnetic field. It gets stronger. And you can create this magnetic field that affects another chain of them. But what if you didn't have the same amount of turns? What if you had like 15 turns here, but 2 turns here? Well, you're going to have a 15 to 2 reduction. How about that? Or a 15 to 2 step. I'm going to be dead honest with you. I don't recall whether that increases or decreases the load that's carried. On screen now, thanks to mismodulations, is a little explanation. So you can read that. I can't. I can't read that. It's not really there. In fact, watch this. If I move my hand, it's gonna go under it. Because it's superimposed in the image, and I can't see it because it hasn't been done yet from my perspective. Now, from that person's perspective, it has, but from my perspective, it hasn't. We've been over this, you know. Anyway, go away. So that's the answer, which I still, again, don't know, but you do know, and future me knows. Yes. That's how that works, and why that's useful. What was the... I don't want to skip to the cool thing. There are other things that we went over. Oh, yes. So how every motor is also a generator. Every generator is a motor. It's just which way is the current going? That's half true. Sorry. Which way is the motor turning? I think is a more specific thing. Yeah, that's more accurate. Which will cause your current to flow differently, but that's not the thing that causes it to be a generator or a motor. So yeah, a motor is just you have electricity going to a thing, magnets, and thing spins. Reverse, you may know a generator is thing spins, magnet, coil, picks up on the energy from the spinning, adds some resistance, and that creates electricity. That's not technically accurate. It doesn't create electricity, but it converts that energy into electricity and vice versa, whichever way it goes. And yeah, so it'll convert the kinetic energy into electrical energy. Yes, very, very fancy. Oh, what was fancy? Yeah, fancy stuff. Yeah, so playing with that, showing up, we had a little LED that we would put on the two, what are they called? Terminals of the motor, and then spin the motor. And we see one way it works, one way it doesn't work. And that's because the diode itself, the LED, is polarized. So it only accepts current one direction, which is cool. We haven't touched on how that works exactly, just that it does. I imagine most certainly we will get into that in the future, which I'll probably talk about that once we do get to that. But in the meantime, we haven't. Yeah, I do. The rest of it's not really anything. Oh, here's a good one. Here's an outstanding one. So one of the things we did, we made a little coil, wrapped it around a battery, and used the oscilloscope to monitor the voltage of this little spinny thing that we made. Actually, let me pull it on my back. BRB. Okay, spinny thing. Yes, so this is it. I'm going to move back behind the camera, and now I'm doing this, and the audio quality will not change negatively, which is cool. So here it is. It's this little bundle of wire, and this little bundle of wire here. We had a magnet that would go in here. And I noticed like a little something changed. I was like, okay, that's interesting. A little something changes. But then we were told, move the magnet back and forth. And when you move the magnet back and forth, essentially being a motor, it creates a voltage. through the circuit. It adds voltage through the circuit. It creates a current. And you can pick that up with the oscilloscope. And you see the faster you move it, the magnet around and through this, you get more periodic oscillations there, seeing things change over time. A little sine wave action. And that's cool. And that's AC current. AC. Alternating current. Haha, funny. I just realized I have Craig sitting here from the I made a community post just joking at Craig, but I have Craig just sitting here. There he is. Everyone say hi to Craig. I suppose he can join us for videos in the future. Here, where do we put Craig? Craig can sit right there. Craig is on top of this monitor. Cool. Yeah, so he's not doing that. We did another cool thing with this. Of course, we made our little motor with it. So we made a generator, which we saw on the oscilloscope, but then we also made a motor out of it. We had a battery, 2 paper clips at the end, stuck this thing through, and as you can see, it's sort of sanded off there. So the insulator is gotten rid of the red stuff, so you just have the raw copper there. And that sits on the 2 terminals of the battery via the paper clips, and then you have a magnet just below. Get the magnet close enough, the thing starts spinning, going mad. Goes like this. Yeah. And the coolest thing we did that I didn't realize how simple this was to do, and I just need the cable now. This is fantastic, and a magnet, I suppose. We made a speaker. Yeah, first lab we made a speaker, and I was blown away by how easy this is. It's just this thing on a solo cup, taped down, and then you add a magnet, and that's bloody it. That's literally it. It's a coil of wire on a solo cup, taped down with a magnet stuck on it in the center here. I swear that's it, and it worked. Now, you did need to supply it with audio. The way we did that is we just positive end, negative end, doesn't really matter which is which, doesn't matter. And you plug that into like your MacBook or something, and you play audio, and it did this!
Next thing, wrap up your DMMs like you see in the top right. I'm coming around for those next. It's just here.
Isn't that mad? Isn't that absolutely mad? I was blown away. I did not think that would be... Like, obviously, the audio quality is shot. It is terrible. But it's just this. It's this and a magnet on a bloody solo cup. That just blew me away. And I kind of want to make a bunch of them now and sell them. Be like, hey, look, cool little science thing. I don't know, like 10 quid each or something. 20. I don't know. Could I sell them for 30? No, that's a scam. But, you know, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah. And it just like really opened my eyes up to, oh, this like electrical audio stuff is stupid simple and anyone can do it. It's just a matter of getting better parts and better build quality, which just take the time to learn how to do, and anyone can do this. Whoa. And so I'm super hyped for this class to finish. And I'll just have so much knowledge on soldering, how to make my own components, how to repair stuff for myself. Like if I have a part break here, I can hopefully find like I've tried actually. Couldn't find the tech manual, what's it called? The repair manual, something like that. But still, I could get a Moog and be like, hey, can you give me some assistance here with how to fix this? Instead of using my warranty to just ship this in and lose it for a few weeks or whatever, I can just repair the part. Be like, oh yeah, one of the resistors burned out. Okay, beep, beep, done. That's amazing. This class is going to be so fantastic for stuff like that. I'm super hyped. I want to be able to make my own microphones too. I think that'd be fantastic. Buy like $60 kits and make like $200 microphones out of it. I could just sell those. I mean, it's fantastic. I'm super excited for this class to finish. It's the first class where when you finish it, you already have a skill now. You can start selling really easily. Now that's not technically true, but it's the easiest skill to sell because it's so needed. Audio, yeah, we had some mixing classes. We had a little bit of music theory classes. Yeah, you could use that to make a product, but that's way harder business-wise to do. It is the industry I want to go into. But I think I've got a competitive edge if I can solder and do all this electromechanical stuff or electrical engineering stuff. So looking forward to finishing this class because, oh my goodness, I'm going to have so much knowledge. Knowledge is key. Knowledge is so good. Yeah, so that about does it for what we did in lab. Let me put my little thing away. Oh, we also made a little electromagnet with a nail. Here's the thicker gauge wire that we used. Let's see. I think my notes app probably has some good stuff in it. Yeah. All right. Oh yeah, so primarily we were after lab. In lecture, we spoke on components. We had a lecture on components. So parasitic resistance. Yeah. So you may see a few things on screen. I'm not going to bother censoring them. It's basic stuff, not confidential. Here's a whole full sail lecture, right? But yeah, just going over soldering was a main thing that we touched on because we have a lab group that 2 lab groups I think that go right after a lecture. Mine does not. Mine goes before a lecture. Which is actually the last lab group, which is lab group 1, funny enough, and lab group 1 goes last, which is, I guess, the numbers are arbitrary, but, lab group 1 should go first. But it is what it is. Yeah. So, general, just soldering tips for now is what we received. The thing's hot, don't touch it. Have a sponge to clean it off. It is very important to maintain and clean the tip of your iron. If you have that thing corrode, it's not going to be able to distribute heat as well to the solder, and you're not going to be able to get a good solder on anything. So make sure you take care of that thing. One thing that I thought was interesting was that you should have a lot of solder on the iron when you go to solder. I didn't know that. I would have figured that you just touch the iron to the thing and then put the solder on. No, you want to have solder on the iron to begin with, coated in the solder, and then you touch it to the part, and then you put the solder on, and then you take them off. The last part we haven't touched on yet. That may be inaccurate. Maybe you slide or do some funky stuff like this one first, or whatever it is. But yeah. Desoldering is another thing that we went over. So 2 different types of things you can use. There's a desoldering vacuum sort of thing where you have this device that you put right up to it. And there's a button, so you push the thing in, and it's like a syringe basically, but not a syringe needle, just the syringe component itself. And then you press a button, and it creates a vacuum. It sucks it up. So you put it by, get the solder molten, click a button, sucks up all the solder. Then you also have your solder desoldering. Is it ribbon or it's like copper woven thing, super thin, tiny, that you touch to it, or you get it hot first, then you touch to it, and then it absorbs the solder. Solder always wanting to go to the hottest thing, especially if it's molten, I suppose. I don't understand the physics behind that. I can't explain that, but that's what we were told in class. I might learn it later. Is there anything really else? Let's see. Yep, so we're just preparing now for our soldering lab, which for me I think will be on Friday. Hopefully it's not tomorrow. I'll check that later. If it's tomorrow, there'll be a little thing that says it's tomorrow. If there's nothing, then that's just blank, and Well, you know now because there's nothing there. But if there was something there, you know that as well. Or alternatively. I don't think there's anything else for Full Sail. But that was a good amount of info, I think. Yeah. And the labs just seem like they're going to be so much fun. And then they encourage us to use the lab as our own workspace. Like if you have any projects you want to work on, you go to the lab and they're like, hey, if you're going to do anything that plugs into an outlet, please have us inspect it first. We can inspect it for you for free. And we'll just like, you know, make sure you don't yourself. I'm going to censor that. But that's going to sound funny. I just realized if I did, that's funny. If I didn't censor that, I would get demonetized for saying that. But it's the truth, so you don't do that. If I do censor, which I did, it sounds like go F yourself. But that's not the word. The word starts with a K. With electricity. You know, it did a funny because of that, but we're going to ignore that. C28 business. I am still working on ear fatigue conceptually, trying to think about how to do it. I did have a really cool idea to do a cover of Never Fade Away by Samurai from Cyberpunk 2077. Yes. I think it was actually I don't know, it's strange. The Samurai cover of Never Fade Away. That is what made me want to cover it, because there are some really cool, like, industrial, experimental aspects to that cover, that version of the song. That I just love. So I love to do my own version of that. So I've been working on it a little bit last night. I have a little conceptual thing. Sounds like this. And of course that doesn't sound anything like Never Fade Away, but that's the idea of the types of sounds I want to use and the sort of rhythm of the song that I would add, that I would sort of change, manipulate. Still working on Lost Melodies and Unloved Timbers Volume 2, of course. I think I'm going to get with Who Makes That Fire this weekend. Or actually, no. Maybe tomorrow, or honestly, maybe tonight. And just see what we can do as far as mastering a few more songs, mixing a few more songs together. This is... I don't want to say it's my magnum opus, because honestly, Suffering was that as of now. That was a very good song. You know, the one that goes... Yeah, that one. I'm giving myself so much editing to do. But fun stuff in the future for C28 music. Yeah. And maybe C28 electronics soon, if I make microphones. I think that'd be cool if I end up making microphones for, like, I could sell them for like 120 each. That'd be super cool. That's a great way to make money. And I could do like giveaways of custom built microphones. I could do like, oh my goodness, we could do lives where we do electrical engineering, and you recommend components for a microphone, and we make like a custom C28 music viewer recommended or viewer created microphone, just like we do with the patches. And then we could give away the microphone for a milestone thing, or just like at the end of the episode, we give away the microphone to whoever is randomly picked in the comment section. That'd be cool. As a reminder, we do still have the giveaway happening for the 1,000 subscriber special in mid-May. March. Yeah, in mid-March, I will be picking the winner. So we still got a few weeks left. We still got about, what's that? 5 weeks, about 5 weeks left. So if you would like some Beats Studio 3s, my Beats Studio 3s to be specific, signed by me, and a Shure SM58 dynamic vocal microphone. Not this one, but the one that was actually used in the 1000 subscriber special. For free, shipping included within the US. You know what? Executive decision. If you're not in the US, I will pay for your shipping as well. Just saying, C28 Music, I'm cool like that. I will pay for your shipping. Shipping included. Literally just, pretty much once I pick the winner, I'm going to announce who the winner is. And then there is an email in my channel description. And then the winner can reach out to me there. We'll do some sort of verification process, whether it's like editing the text in your comment and saying like, or whatever, posting a video unlisted, or I don't know what it will do. Something. We'll figure out some sort of verification. And then, yeah, email me address to send it to, and we'll send the stuff. But again, we have not picked a winner yet, so we need to stand by on that. But I will announce who the winner is midway through March. So, yeah, about March 15th or so, you can expect the winner will be picked. And I'll do the picking itself as a community post. So you'll see a little YouTube short. It'll be YouTube short and a community post. So there'll be a YouTube short showing the process happening, and then surprise, that person won. If it's Who Makes That Fire or I, we'll just respin, because Who Makes That Fire is the one that so kindly provided the SM58, and I am the channel owner, so I'm not going to win my own giveaway. As much as I would love an SM58, but yeah, not mine to keep. I think that covers all my bases here for things, wholesale wise and C28 music wise. It's been a pretty good video log. I think we've been going on for like 20 minutes or so. Let's see, where are we at? Yeah, oh my goodness, like half an hour. Wow, I'm gonna hate editing this so much. Thank you, future me, for editing this video. Everyone thank future C28 for editing this very long half-hour video log. It's been a journey. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave those in the comment section below, and I will get back to them personally and respond to them. If you have a really interesting question, something that would be really cool for everyone else to know the answer to, I'll post it in the space. Whoa, space around me. And we can get that info disseminated. And of course, your comment seen by everyone else. Whether or not they were in the video, well, we're in the comment section of the video where you post your comment originally. Yeah. If you enjoyed today's content, you can subscribe, and YouTube will send you more content like this from me and from other creators like me, which is nice, you know? Subscriptions, they work. They're also free, in case you're wondering. It is free to subscribe. What's not free is the next step, becoming a control voltage for $5 a month. You get access to the Discord server where all the control voltages and myself. Unfortunately, I cannot be a control voltage because I am me. I wish I could, but whatever. I wrote a song about that. Not exactly, but wish I could. All of us get to chat. You also get early access to videos like this one. You get behind the scenes content like stuff I'm doing for Lost Melodies and Unloved Timbers Volume 2. And probably the other songs as well. And some more stuff down the line. Probably some member-only logs, or not logs, lives, once we get a few more years. We have currently just the one new control voltage. We do have, not honorary, but grandfathered control voltages from the old Discord server who have migrated to the current one. I think none of them are like legit control voltages, so we just got the one right now that we're vibing with. Yeah. So, appreciate you, Luke Roberts, indeed. So everyone in the comment section seeing like the little blue star. That's my CV. We need more years. You can do fun stuff, but yeah, you can do that. Cool perks. So I hope you all take care of yourselves. God be with you. And goodbye, YouTube. Farewell.